do differently is that they start with the marshmallow and they build prototypes, successive prototypes, always keeping the marshmallow on top. So they have multiple times to fix it and build prototypes along the way. So designers recognize this type of collaboration as the essence of the iterative process. And with each version, kids get instant feedback about what works and what doesn't work. So the capacity to play and prototype is really essential. But let's look at how different teams perform. So the average for most people is around 20 inches. Business school students, about half of that. Lawyers, a little better, but not much better than that. Kindergartens, better than most adults. Who does the very best? Architects and engineers, thankfully. 39 inches is the tallest structure I've seen, because they understand triangles and self-reinforcing geometrical patterns are the key to building self-reinforced stable structures. So CEOs, a little bit better than average, but here's where it gets interesting. If you put an executive admin on the team, they get significantly better. It's incredible. You know, you look around, you go, oh, that team's going to win. You can tell beforehand. And why is that? Because they have special skills of facilitation. They manage the process. They understand the process. And any team who manages and pays close attention to work will significantly improve their team's performance. Specialized skills and facilitation skills, the combination leads to strong success. If you have 10 teams that typically perform, you'll get maybe 6 or so that have standing structures. And I tried something interesting. I thought, let's up the ante once. So I offered a $10,000 prize of software to the winning team. So what do you think happened to these design students? What was the result?
They flipped out.
Here's what happened. Not one team had a standing structure. Not one had, if anyone had built, say, a 1-inch structure, they would have taken home the prize. So isn't it interesting that high stakes have a strong impact? We did the exercise again with the same students. What do you think happened then? So now they understand the value of prototyping. So the same team went from being the very worst to being among the very best. They produced the tallest structures in the least amount of time. So there's deep lessons for us about the nature of incentives and success. So you might ask, why would anyone actually spend time running a marshmallow challenge? And the reason is I've helped create digital tools and processes to help teams build cars and video games and visual effects. And what the marshmallow challenge does is it helps them identify the hidden assumptions. Because frankly, every project has its own marshmallow, doesn't it? The challenge provides a shared experience, a common language, a common stance to build the right prototype. And so this is the value of the experience of this so simple exercise. And those of you who are interested may want to go to marshmallowchallenge.com. It's a blog that you can look at how to build the marshmallows, or step-by-step instructions on this. There are crazy examples from around the world of how people tweak and adjust the system. There's world records that are on this as well. And the fundamental lesson, I believe, is that design truly is a contact sport. It demands that we bring all of our senses to the task and that we apply the very best of our thinking, our feeling, and our doing to the challenge that we have at hand. And sometimes a little prototype of this experience is all that it takes to turn us from an uh-oh moment to a ta-da moment, and that can make a big difference. Thank you very much.
What does collaborating have to do with politics? What does collaborating have to do with
Building a consensus.
building a consensus
To get things done.
to get things done? Who found the part about the kindergarten children outdoing the average adults to be rather interesting? The adults wanted to complicate things, and they probably wanted to bring in their differences. I'm the CEO, I know better than you. I'm the engineer, I know better than you. I've got this qualification, I'm probably better than you. How many of you have heard, what is Patrick's qualifications for this job? I'm sorry, I was not listening.
Eat Oreos. You gotta be able to eat Oreos.
That's not what I heard. Several are questioning my qualifications. What do you suppose is the most important qualification to being someone who might be interested in you? The qualifications, or my heart and my spirit, my mind and leadership, let's say, that might be more. I mean, did I need to start out as the Boy Scout troop leader and then step up to city council and then go to JP and then the state representative? Donald Trump didn't do that. Granted, he was CEO of some company, but he decided to go right to the top. Others were governors. Others were senators, and who they had to race as a president. So I'm not convinced that I have to necessarily have any qualifications. You know what I used to think? I used to think that I needed to be a lawyer. If you're going to write laws and change laws, you need to be a lawyer. Well, I soon found out that no, they got lawyers to do that. You just got to give them the idea, and they'll put it all in legal jargon. So, what we're talking about here tonight is setting aside the petty differences that we talked about last week, coming together, working together, and we're going to do a little session, if you will. And if everybody has finished eating, I have a certain amount of crayons, and we're going to go through a little process here of identifying teams. When we identify the teams, how many of you have seen the movie The Titans, in the school bus scene where I think somewhere on that school bus something is said, I want you to sit beside someone you do not know. Okay? Who wants to, this is going to require a little bit of participation, cooperation, and initiative, and leadership, and a lot of other things. So, who wants to, now keep in mind what I'm about to ask you for, you really don't know what you're volunteering for. Who wants to volunteer first for the first part of what I'm wanting to do here?
I'll do it. I don't care.
All right.
You've been humiliated.
Mandy, I want you to sit at the end of this table right here.
Gotcha.
Okay? You are, who wants to volunteer next?
Mark does.
Mark does.
Somebody spoke on behalf of Mark.
Are there any
Mark, do you know Mandy? Why do you can't sit there?
I told him. He don't want me to. Yay.
I don't need to take all night doing this. So, Mark, you done eating?
All right.
Mark, you come over here and sit with Mandy.
Michael was coming.
Well, Mark volunteered
Yeah,
next.
that's fine. That's fine.
Now, Mark's gonna sit with Mandy. Michael, who wants to volunteer next?
Oh,
Michael?
yes.
Michael, you want to volunteer?
Yes.
All right, I want you to come over here and sit right here.
Okay.
You just thought you were gonna sit with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's next? You are.
All right.
All right.
You want me to sit with
Michael,
Michael?
you come sit right here.
You sit with Michael?
No, you didn't volunteer next. Are you volunteering next? All right. Do you know Mark?
Nope.
Do you know Mandy? Nope. I want you to sit with them. Okay. Who's next?
Well, I know everybody, so I can't sit
No, I got plans for you. Who's next?
Uh-oh.
All right. You know Byron, so you can't sit with him. You know Michael, right? So I want you to go over and sit with Miss Jones. Who's next?
I'm the lonely man.
All right, Nancy's got a few minutes. All right. Who's next? Terry? Terry, you come down here and sit with Mandy and Mark and Byron. I know you've been in a meeting at time too, but I don't think you know these three.
No.
Roger? I want you to go over and sit next to Lida. Lida's over there in the bright colored clothes. Beverly, I want you to come over here and sit
Exclusive swag.
right here. We'll make it all. Sonny?
Yeah. All right.
I want you to go over and sit with Tim.
Yeah, I know you.
Cecil, why don't you come over here? Hey, Cecil, come over here. Come over here.
Yeah, he can say that.
Your husband's a little shy, being a sophomore.
Yeah, he's a stereotypical Saturday.
That's good. I need a shot. Cecil?
I don't know you.
Yeah, don't.
All right. Pam, you come over here with Michael.
Oh, man.
Pete, come over here with Michael. Dan, why don't you come over here with Michael?
Oh, man.
All right, we got three. Ms. LeBron, come over here to these folks, if you will. Sit right here next to Lorraine.
I got
We got four.
Now you got one there.
We've got three. We've got, actually, we've got four here. We've got four there. We've got five here. Jerry,
There you go, Mike. Damn. All right, Dan.
I'm Pete.
Hey, how you doing, Pete? First
come
time.
over here and sit with, sit with Ms. Jones. You know, Jerry. That's okay. I'm injecting some familiar areas.
Miss Jones, bring over her husband's card.
Got four? We got four? Four, and we got five. That's okay. All right, now.
Way back in the day.